Imagine a company that stores the massive amount of data, and that data definitely comes from different sources, right? The sources could be anything. It could be the transaction tables, it could be yeah, from the mobile devices. You may get the data from IoT devices, the data generated from the feedbacks or the customer supports and so on. Now the most important thing here is we know that this data is not always structured. I'm using the term always. Majority of the data which you get from different sources is most of the times it is clumsy, it is not clean, it is not neat, and it is not structured. Now you may ask a question, where exactly we are going to store this data? And it's very important to store all the data coming from different resources into a single repository or a single location or a single area you can call, and that single area we call it as a data lake. It means data lake consists of a location or a dedicated area where you are going to store all the data which is coming from different resources. And moreover, we should keep it in mind that the data is raw, the data is not clean, and it's a massive amount of data being generated per second. Now it's a prime importance to manage this kind of data, and we are going to save this or store this into a single repository, and that repository we call it as a data lake. Now you may ask a question, how we are going to correlate this aspect into the Google Cloud. Fortunately, Google Cloud provide one of the most cheapest cost effective service, and that service is known as Google Cloud Storage. And that storage, through that storage we are going to create the data lakes. So first is we are going to see what data lake is all about, and next we are going to see what a data warehouse is all about, and then we'll figure out the differences between data lake and data warehouse. So please listen this carefully, guys. This must be your foundation to grab the professional data engineering certification, because expect some questions on, the direct or indirect questions on data lake and data warehouse as well. So now let's see what a data lake is all about. So here I'm using very generic word. The main purpose here is I am just want you guys to understand the concept first. Then we'll put on some technical terms and you yourself will do it for sure. So the main important thing here is you understand the concept first, how exactly the data lake works. Okay. So a data lake, it brings together data from the enterprise into a single location. Now, let's assume that this is your enterprise. I'm going on Blackboard very soon. Just see this diagram and then we'll go to Blackboard for uh, further understanding. Okay. So now you have the raw data, right? The data could be in the form of structured, it could be in the form of spreadsheet, it could be in a form of files like JSON files, XML files, or other file formats. So you want to push all this data into a common location, and that common location is known as data lake. As simple as that, right? So like I said, you might get the data in a form of relational database or from a spreadsheet and store the raw data into a data lake. Yep. So let's go to the Blackboard and we'll see, understand the data lake in a bit detail. Yep. Okay. So now let's take one example that you have an enterprise or any business organization, and you have a cloud somewhere like this. Yes, so this is cloud and this is your business organization. Yep. So now we see in your business organization, I'm just quoting one example for your understanding. Yep. So in your organization or enterprise, you have different teams, right? So you have HR team, you have finance team, yep, and you have accounting, you have inventory, and so on. So many departments. And HR will generate a huge amount of data, definitely. Same goes for finance, accounting, inventory as well. But it's not mandatory that the data structure or the data format across all these departments must be unique, right? So HR may generate a data in a tabular format. Sometimes finance may generate in a form of JSON format, or the accounting team generate a data in CSV, Excel, spreadsheet, and so on. It means it's not mandatory that whatever the data you have in your organization has a standard unique format or the structure. Yep. So each of these departments generate huge amount of data. Makes sense, right? Definitely. So different departments, different data formats. Yep. So each department may store data in different formats. Like we have discussed, like finance may use spreadsheet, HR may use data in a documents or text files and so on. So what we need to conclude here is initially in your organization, the data is not structured. It could be semi-structured, it could be in a form of images, text file, messy, raw, uncertain video files and so on. And that's completely okay because it's your own data from your organization. So now understand what data lake is and how this solution helps to store the data. So think about the name itself. It's called data lake. Let's assume there is a small lake inside the Google Cloud, right? And the small streams of water comes from different places. See, HR will generate a different stream of water and it meets the data lake. Finance also will generate a small stream of water. It will meet the data lake. And in the same way, accounting team generate a small stream of water and it meets the data lake. So what I want to conclude here is all the data from your organization which is not identical, it meets at a common place, and this common place is known as data lake. As simple as that, right? So all of it is stored in one central place, and that central place is known as a data lake in Google Cloud. Yep. Now, in Google Cloud, one of the best and most commonly used service to build a data lake is Google Cloud Storage. Absolutely important. You understand this, right? Let me just quickly repeat. Here, data lake is a common point in Google Cloud where you dump all your data in a common place. So the data from HR, data from finances, data from accounting, inventory, technical, logs, dumps, images, files, whatever you have, you just take that data and dump in one common place, and that one common place is called as data lake. Let's go to the slide. Okay. So one option for this single location or a common point to store the raw data from different departments is to store that, where is this? Is to store that in a Google Cloud Storage bucket. It means Google Cloud Storage is one of the service provided by GCP to store the data of different types, of different velocities, of different structures, of different formats, just to store at a one common point. And that service is known as Google Cloud Storage. You can call it as storage bucket or cloud storage and so on. We are going in depth. No need to worry. At this point of time, you just think that I have a big lake. In that lake, I have different streams of data, and all the streams across different departments will be consolidated or will be stored in my lake. That's it. That's about data lake. Okay, so now the key considerations to build a data lake. Okay, so these points you just try to remember this, because at the end of the course you yourself will answer these questions. Okay, so now I have this lake. Okay, I have this data lake. It's a data lake is nothing but cloud storage. I'm using the service called cloud storage to save or to store all the different forms of raw data. So how this storage or how the data lake should be? You should ask a question: does it handle all types of data format? It must handle. Is it scalable? Scalable in the sense, if you push continuously huge amount of data, it should scale automatically. There shouldn't be any failures. Okay, we'll see that in detail because it's a big massive course. And does it support high throughput ingestion? How about the accessibility? How about the security aspects of this data lake? Are the connectors available to connect with other tools and services? So these are the consideration you should think in order to design the data lake. We are going in depth, no need to worry at this point of time. So cloud storage is designed for 99.99999% of annual durability. It means what Google Cloud is saying is, you want to construct a big lake, use my service, and that service is known as cloud storage. That's it. So almost all the real-time projects use cloud storage as a data lake, and it's not must and mandatory that data lake means you should use cloud storage, but cloud storage service gives you more durability, more flexibility, and you can use it as a typical data lake, means it is suggested by Google and accepted by most of the projects, guys. Yep. So that's all about data lake. So let's summarize what we have discussed so far. A data lake stores raw data across the different data points or data formats. Data can be structured, semi-structured, it could be in the videos, images, and so on. So in Google Cloud, cloud storage service is commonly used as a data lake. And the last, very important, is this must be your foundational concept if you want to excel or to complete the Google Cloud's professional engineering certification. You must understand this concept very thoroughly. Yep, it's not difficult though, but lot of concept you need to remember. So that's all about data lake in this video rather. And the next video we are going to see what data warehouse is all about and what's the difference between data lake and data warehouse. So see you soon in the next video. Have a good day. Thanks all.